在这个游戏中，人们被强制规定只能说 yes 是的、好的、收到，即便想拒绝，也只能支支吾吾的开不了口。相信屏幕前有工作经历的人都会深有感触。大家好，我是阿景，今天是我们操控的实习生第一天上班的日子，室友为我们准备了一盒彩虹独角兽便当，但他要求我们再次帮忙支付他的房租。尽管他之前已经多次保证不再提这件事，但我们目前仍然无法拒绝他。和我们同为实习生的还有另外2人，主管是一个自以为很有幽默感的中年人，他总是在一句话的结尾加上一句开玩笑的，就把这句话当成了段子。他向3名实习生强调，无论遇到什么事都必须表示同意，哪怕是有人想抢走我们的午餐盒。
I am hungry and I really want that lunchbox. I say, hey intern, give me that lunchbox. What do you say? I'm kidding.
随后当我们到了位于自动售货机后面的工位时，主管他开始进行了经典的职场霸凌。
And I need one for later, so give me a lunchbox. Intern, I am your supervisor. And did we not just go over how you are always supposed to say yes? Well, I know I did what? Yeah, that sounded like a yes. Thanks, intern.
就在我们难过之时，一盒磁带突然砸中了主角。一名看起来像健身教练的人出现，他将会教会我们如何拒绝。
Hey you! Did you just start your internship and get destroyed by your coworkers? Just do this. Say it with me. No! Come on, try it on this jerk.
Make me coffee.
Whoa! Whoa! Not bad.
之后我们回到职场，终于可以肆意表达拒绝的想法，做回自己了。
Did you make my coffee? I don't see coffee. Did you see my new lunchbox? Excuse me?
主管被吓得慌忙逃窜，在这个没人会说不的世界里，这简直是降维打击。
Hey, wait!
Whoa! What is this madness?
最终，主管被总裁炒了鱿鱼。接下来，我们面对的是一名伪君子经理，他嘴上说着实习生怎么可以在这种阿杂的角落工作呢？转头却只是在里面贴了一张窗户的画，还顺便把我们的午餐盒给拿走了。当我们一路追到他的小破办公室，才发现他其实有一个很大的露天公园办公场所。
Jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. We're buddies. Come on, buddy. Remember the tour.
经过一连串追逐战之后，经理也是被炒了，可是午餐盒却又被总裁给自动拾取了。当我们找到他的办公室时，他告诉我们，驯服计划非常成功，因为已经很久没有人敢对他们说不了。然而，我们的攻势并没有对他起到什么作用。
Give you all the rope you could need, intern. Let me show you true power. This is what you could be, intern, if you weren't so weak.
如果不是午餐时间到了，主角也会被他炒了鱿鱼。尽管如此，我们这一番行为并不是没有意义的。这些所作所为得到了许多同事的认可，他们虚心向主角请教如何拒绝他人的无理要求。
I wish I could work faster. That's all. You are right. If there's too much work, it's the manager's fault. They can hire more people or coordinate better. I deserve my free time.
My laugh is kinda gross. I was kicked out of a meeting for laughing.
I don't deserve it? Yeah, you're right. Next time, I'll tell him that his face is gross. Haha!
直到室友再次出现，他又要求我们帮忙垫付1个月的房租，这一行为却被总裁嘲讽。
I guess that's why he hangs out with you, so he feels better about himself. What a bunch of losers. Huh. Okay. Now, intern. Oh, please, don't you taunt.
在这之后 ，CEO 解雇了总裁，并将主角给抓了起来。他举办了一场关于多说 yes 的辩论会，目的自然是为了给员工们疯狂洗脑。随着被我们影响到的人越来越多，我们终于有机会夺回午餐盒了吗？没想到眼前的 CEO 居然是一位演员，之前一直表现得非常顺从的实习生才是真正的 CEO。一路过关斩将来到他的办公室后，他立刻将磁带砸毁，然后疯狂地向我们灌输对一切说 yes 是如何帮助他一路打拼到现在的。主角被他轰出了高楼。这时室友再次打来了电话，依然是询问垫付房租的事。事实上，面对不讲理的同事和老板，你当然可以理直气壮地拒绝，但如果是朋友的请求呢？哪怕他们是混蛋，有时候真的好难开口。或许只有学会合理拒绝，我们才能更好地维护自己的原则和边界，也才能让朋友更好地成长与进步。室友非常感谢这样的坦诚，他也终于决定好好去找一份工作。
Hey, you! No loitering! You can't just hover around like that. Stop it!
Clean my dust.
Give me your lunchbox. Give me your lunchbox.
Bad hair day,
Stop this right now! It's time for everyone here to say yes! Saying yes! Yes is good! This motherfucker is mine! I'm not even hungry, but that doesn't
That sure was a doozy, eh? Oh yeah, yesterday was crazy. It's wild to think it all happened in a single day.
Hey, so what happened exactly? I had like one day off and it's like a whole new office.
It is a whole new office.
It is?
The last one did get destroyed.
It did?
But I mean, the important thing is that we can say no now.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's wild! That used to be a big thing.
I know.
Hey, can anyone do overtime tonight?
No, sorry. Tonight? No.
Okay, don't worry about it. I figured something out. Thanks anyway.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, see?
Oh, you're empty. Do you need a refill?
Huh? No, I don't want to bother you.
Oh no, I'm going to the kitchen anyway. Don't worry about it.
Good morning, everyone!
Morning, Maya. We are running out of ink on this floor.
I'll get that sorted for you.
Thanks.
Everyone good?
Can I leave work early tonight?
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. Just log it in. What's happening? Are you and Zame having a date night?
Just a little one to the movies, yeah.
Aw, you two have fun.
Will do.
Knock, knock. Steph's pitching training is in 10 minutes. Feel free to join if you'd like in the innovation room.
Maya, where are you going? Yeah, take a little break.
Oh, I shouldn't.
Yeah, come and relax for a few minutes.
Play a round of table tennis with us. Isn't your thing saying yes?
Haha. All right then, but just one.
Hey, can you copy these papers?
No, not really. I'm kind of busy.
Ah, dang. Sorry.
Hey, I can give you a hand.
Oh, thank you so much.
Here's your lunch. No onions.
Yay, my lunch order. Thanks. Your lunches are the best.
Oh, well, thank you for supporting my business. I have a lunch order for you that's 100 monies. I guess I'll have to give you my best friend discount. That means it's free.
Lunch order received.
I'll see you soon.
Hello, knock knock. Oh, looks like you're ready for lunch. Let's go.
Perhaps, in a different world, one of nuance and wonder, the advice to say no more is actually pretty bad advice. And maybe, in that more nuanced world, many people would never need such straightforward advice. But all I'm really asking is that you live your life each day being the best person you can be. Saying no to things that are unreasonable. Saying no to things that cause you or others harm. And understanding the power you have to change yourself, to change the world, and the systems that you live in. Saying no more means what it says. It's not about always saying no. It's not about never saying yes. But if you are listening to this, maybe you should consider the advice and say no more!
感谢你看到这里，我是阿景，我们下期见。